What's the craziest thing that you've ever seen in the paranormal world?
Up in Tennessee, literally saw a person knocked down, dragged, and lifted off the floor and slammed multiple times. And after that, the investigator quit ghost hunting after that. It's something that I've never seen before in my life. It's something that you pretty much see maybe once in a lifetime, or even any, because sometimes, a lot of times when you do these investigations, you'll see like shadows, doors opening and shutting, voice phenomena, just your normal chatter, a knock on the door, stuff like that. But when you get stuff like something being dragged or pushed, then you get into another realm of poltergeisting, or sometimes what the paranormal realm calls it, demonic.
Come out from the past, living in the future I created. Now, own an air minute, I'm in at a G. My NFT drop, you with that energy, stop. At all costs, I will protect funeral line the effect from the blast that I emit. I don't miss. I'm unfolding. Rise up, king. I'd rather build or destroy.
Thank you for watching the Joe Pavich Podcast. You could find me on the joepavichpodcast.com, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. And I'd like to thank my sponsors, Edwards Contracting Group, Giovanni Matita, Be Your Gift, and Above and Beyond Painting. Today is an exciting day. I have Josh Adila, a.k.a. The Animal. Great to have you here today, man.
Great to be here, man. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. You know, Josh is a paranormal investigator, which I happen to love, and into cryptids, or cryptozoology.
Yep.
There's pretty crazy thing you do between the two of them. So a lot of people know what paranormal investigation is, but give me a little snippet on what a cryptid is.
Cryptid is pretty much, Bigfoot, the Mothman, Chupacabra. There's so many things out there. Nessie, your favorite Nessie dinosaur that peeks out of the water once in a while. To different types of birds that people see, like that looks like a dinosaur flying around. You name it, it's out there.
Yeah. Well, the fun thing for me is every time I get a guest that does something unique, it gives me a chance to learn something new.
Yeah.
So before I had you on the show, I looked up cryptids, and I thought there was a couple. I was thinking it would be Bigfoot or Sasquatch, right? The Yeti, Mothman, Loch Ness Monster were a couple that I can think of, but there's a whole slew of them. How many cryptids are there?
Oh my gosh, I would say at least especially mythologies and lore and everything, probably over 100, I would have to say. I couldn't name all of them offhand, but if you look online, there's tons of them. And it's really cool because you can read the story and the history of when they came about.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have a board on your wall at home, and every time you find one, you put a little check on there and go, I saw him?
No, but that's actually a good idea. I should do that.
Good
Throw
idea.
a dart.
Yeah. It'd be a good part of your show. You know, who
Yeah.
knows? But the Animal Expedition is a cool show that you
Yeah.
have on YouTube, which I watched. But I was looking around and I said, I need someone that knows about Bigfoot or things like that. Where in the world could I find one? Bam.
Yeah.
And I got you.
Yeah.
So I heard, call Josh. I thought, man, pretty awesome. So now we get a chance to talk about it, man.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited.
Before we get down the whole Bigfoot thing now, the paranormal, since it's Halloween season, right? I want to talk about that. So I want to kind of get right into some of my favorite things, right? What's the craziest thing that you've ever seen in the paranormal world?
Oh, gosh. You ever watch those crazy paranormal things where things get dragged and picked up off the ground, kind of like poltergeisty?
Absolutely.
It's called Brushy Mountain Penitentiary. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Up in Tennessee, literally saw a person knocked down, dragged, and lifted off the floor and slammed multiple times. And after that, the investigator quit ghost hunting after that. It's something that I've never seen before in my life. It's something that you pretty much see maybe once in a lifetime, or even any. Because sometimes, a lot of times when you do these investigations, you'll see like shadows, doors opening and shutting, voice phenomena, just your normal chatter, a knock on the door, stuff like that. But when you get stuff like something being dragged or pushed, then you get into another realm of poltergeisting, or sometimes what the paranormal realm calls it, demonic.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think, oh, everything that you see gets lifted up a piece of paper, oh, it must be demonic. But not everything that happens is demonic. It could be a negative energy that was like mean in real life.
Yeah.
And now in the afterlife, they're going to be the same type of person.
Yeah. It could be some creaky stairs or something with the foundation, but somebody getting thrown around a little bit, that's a whole different
that's
scenario.
a whole different realm that I thought I would never be able to experience, but I experienced it, in that one case, because, you got to remember, these were people in prison.
Yeah.
These were bad people.
You look at that, going to a penitentiary. So you went there as an investigator at the time? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Investigator.
So what kind of tools would you bring with you to penitentiary?
It's hard to say.
to check that out.
Pretty much a little recorder and a camera. We'll do some experiments where we wear a blindfold and see what happens, and talk to whatever it is, a spirit entity, and we'll just ask it questions. And a lot of times we'll have like an EMF detector where the lights would just blink and stuff if like an energy like comes near it. See, what an EMF detector is, it's to get that like electromagnetic field.
Yeah.
If there's like, say if there's no power around you and you're getting that field, that electromagnetic field around you when there's no power, that's weird, right? That shouldn't happen logically.
Yeah.
But if it's like a spirit per se, they work off of electric. So if that meter like pings like different colors, and then something's going on.
Sure.
Yeah.
When you go into a jail like that, right? There's no power. Right?
There's no power usually.
So you're going in. What do you have, like the lights on your?
Yeah, you go with little flashlights and stuff like that. You try not to make it too because you want it like dark and ominous, and just to make it look creepy in a way, I guess you could say.
So, like, obviously going in is one thing, but, like, going into the basement and those weird spots,
yeah,
they're not small, right?
No, they're not small.
So,
you could get lost in them.
Oh, man. That'd be kind of scary for me. I think I could probably go to a house with you.
Yeah.
Josh, look around a little bit. 1,500 square feet.
Yeah.
I'm in real estate, so, small house is fine, but a big penitentiary, that'd be a problem for me for sure.
Yeah, and not other than that, but, like, if you want to go anywhere creepier, like the woods is alive too. Like not just places, but like me and Lee, the person you had on your show before, we've experienced so much stuff in the woods where we've had like Bigfoot encounters stuff happen, Slender Man, which is a long, tall, dark figure that we call in the paranormal field.
So that's a real. So Slender Man, the show. I've seen the movie. I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
So that's a real thing.
Yeah, they call him Slender Man. He's just a long, lanky, slim dude, shadow, pretty much. Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
But in real life, I don't know about that one. That'd be kind of scary for me. So when you see somebody get thrown around a little bit, explain what that looks like.
Horrifying. Because you're thinking like in reality, like how can that be possible? Something that's not there picking somebody up. It's virtually impossible. And when you see that, you're like, well, I don't want to be there. Like you literally don't want to be there and mess whatever that entity is.
And how many people are in there with you?
At that investigation, we had to go in different groups because we didn't want to go in huge groups, because when the bigger it is, the less experiences you're going to have. So you kind of want to like dwindle it down to like 3 to 5 people.
Mm-hmm. Man. So when that happened, did the other 3 leave?
No, they were there.
leave you with that while they're out? Because that's what I'd be doing for sure.
No, they were there. They were definitely there.
Oh, man. But what's that like, though, in that moment? I mean,
kind of like, is there a diaper around? Like,
Yeah.
literally, because you kind of, like, pretty much crapped yourself, like, at that point. Like, what do? You're like, do I run, or do I stay, or is it going to do something to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine the person that it happened to. So
Well, yeah,
what did they say after the fact?
Well, they quit the paranormal. The crazy thing was, it was filmed. The whole thing was filmed. They erased everything because it was traumatizing to them.
Wow. Man.
Yeah.
No further documentation, right?
No.
So you look at like the ghost that you would see or a shadow is one thing, right? But then when you get into that sort of thing, the demonic is a whole different story. You know, when you said that, I think of like The Conjuring.
Yep.
Getting dragged around by your hair, and they cut her hair, and to release, and you know they grab her and everything. Or you look at like The Exorcist, the levitation and all that. Which Exorcist, by the way, is the probably #1 scary movie of all time.
It's a great movie. It definitely is.
It's a freaky movie.
Yeah.
And when they made that movie, I remember, man, I think the church saw, you know, no one liked what went on, right? I mean, it was a big deal. People were scared to coming out of the theaters. People were leaving halfway through. People were throwing up in the movie theater.
Oh, yeah. And they felt like they were being possessed.
Yeah.
You know, after they watched it.
Man, it's crazy. So with the evil spirits and things, like what can be done? Is there anything that could be done to cleanse the area there or get rid of that spirit? Would you call it a spirit, by the way?
I would call it a spirit or a negative energy or entity or poltergeist.
Yeah.
Pretty much just cleanse the area and just pray, and hopefully that thing will go away.
Yeah. Now, could that attach to someone and that become...
It can attach to somebody.
How would that happen?
It just depending on who's vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, there's people that are like, don't realize it, but they're very vulnerable, and that thing could get attached to. Or it could attach to someone who's open to spirits and stuff like me. I've had things attached to me to my house because my house is haunted. So we have stuff that happens all the time. Like, jokingly, they joke around, throw stuff around just to mess with you.
Sure.
But like, I've had instances where I've been to an investigation and they would follow me home for like a day or two and then pass on.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, how does it even happen? They just attach to your body, or
it's just they like your energy.
Yeah.
They just like you, especially like little children or something like that, spirit children, or just someone who is just like lonely.
Yeah.
They just want to have that presence with you.
Well, if you think about it, if you're a ghost and you're trying to get to someone or send a message, they're not grasping because they're not open to it.
Yeah.
But then you find someone like yourself that is. Like, if I was a ghost, I might come hang out with you.
Yeah.
Because I know you'd be dealing with me. You'd be talking with me. So if I'm a ghost and I come find you, you'll know it's me.
Yeah.
I'll tap you on the shoulder. But man, that whole thing is so crazy. Now, what about how many kids do you have?
I have 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the 3 kids, are they into this as well?
Oh yeah, they definitely experience stuff, especially in the house and stuff like that. They're like, I hear a voice, Dad, like, or they'll see a shadow in their room.
Sure.
Many things they've experienced it even before, like, because I have 2 not foster, but stepdaughters, and then I have my daughter. So, like, they tell me stories, like, before I met them, that they've, like, seen these entities, and they would draw pictures, literally pictures of them, of these, like, weird-looking creatures that had, like, fangs and teeth and just weird things, like, they would show me. I'm like, well, that doesn't look good. And they were so detailed, too, because they're, like, artistic. So they're, like, when you're, like, seeing this stuff, like, you wouldn't just make up something that was, like, weird looking, something like that, like out of a movie.
Sure.
That just doesn't happen. But when you like experience it and you could draw out every detail, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Were you ever able to relate one of those drawings to something you've seen in the past or know of a specific spirit or entity? Not
me personally, but I've seen apparitions of stuff like a soldier, just people walking around and stuff like that. Like, for instance, me and Lee did an investigation, him and his daughter. And me and his daughter saw an apparition of a person that was like waist up. We couldn't see their legs. It was just a soldier just walking through the woods, just minding its own business, just going off its way.
Can you get to that spirit quick enough to where they don't just fade away, or
it happens in seconds. You know, it can happen like, usually when you see something like that, it comes and goes. Like, you got to make sure you like see it quick.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, two of you see it at the same time, which me and Lee's daughter saw at the same time, which is phenomenal, because when you get two people, that confirms it that, you know, you both saw it.
Sure.
So it's confirmation that you actually saw something really cool.
Yeah, because for someone, maybe say you're sleep deprived, or you know, maybe you're not doing as great, you know, mental health wise at the moment, or there's some stuff going on, and you're not your normal self.
Yeah.
You may see something or reckon. I would imagine that plays a good role in people seeing things too, right?
Yeah.
You know, you don't sleep for a day or two, and you'll start seeing things as well.
Yeah, but sometimes that brings me out of bed. We'll hear, me and my wife will hear noise in the middle of the night. We're like, sometimes we'll like be watching Netflix, and then my wife's like, "Do you hear that?" I'm like, "What?" And then we turn down and we hear people literally on the opposite side of our door. And we know the kids are sleeping. They're not even in there. They're out. They're passed out. Animals are passed out. We'll literally hear people chatter like they're having conversation on the other side of our door, just nonchalant chatting.
It's a big fear for sure. I don't know what I would do if I heard that, but the good thing is they got Dad. I'm assuming they're all comfortable with this.
Oh,
now?
they're so used to it. Especially like I do investigations all the time. They're used to me hearing stories. They're like, "Oh, how's the investigation?" Like, and I would tell them and stuff like, "Oh, that's so cool."
Yeah, that's great. Now let's go back to The Exorcist, because a lot of things happen in that movie. I mean, we're talking about Hollywood, right? So you're going to see a lot of things that are obviously over exaggerated. But when you like exorcisms, have you ever seen one, or been involved in one, or been to one?
Oh, I've been involved in
stories like that.
When I was a teenager, I was very heavily into church, and I'll never forget it. I think I was around, I was young. I think I was like 15 or 16, around there, and we were at a youth group. And after the youth group session was over, we just went outside. It was nighttime and stuff. We're all chilling. And this kid was just standing in the middle of the field, because there was a field right next to where the church was. And he was just acting weird, and his eyes were like rolling back of his head, and like foam was coming out of his mouth. I was like, is this something wrong with this kid? And then weird voices was coming out. And I was like, well, the only thing I could think of doing is pray for him.
Sure.
So I put my hand on him, like to pray on, like his shoulder, and he fell and started like speaking weird voices. And I was like, the only thing I know to do is still pray and ask for help.
Yeah.
So once I prayed for him, he just calmed down, and it like felt like he was in peace, you know, after that. But like, that was the most craziest thing I've ever experienced as a teenager.
Sure.
Because I'm like, well, I'm a new person going into church, and like all of a sudden this happened. I'm like, this is weird stuff that you see out of like a movie and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Never thought like someone could actually be, you know, taken over by something like that's so powerful like that.
Sure.
And it happens all the time. There's people, especially like in different countries, people get like that have demonic entities that take over their body, and some people like, could it be drugs or anything like that? And like, yeah, and like some ways you think it is, but like the weird talks and the weird like monologues that they're saying and different languages, it's something that's not of this world.
Yeah. Bizarre, man.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And there's a couple things that intrigued me. Ouija boards.
Oh, I could tell you a Ouija board story.
Mediums, and of course exorcisms as well. But let's hear a good Ouija boards. Ouija. It's Ouija, not Ouija, right?
Yeah, which is 3 and older.
Yeah. I'll tell you one funny Ouija board story. When I was a kid, my friend says, I have a Ouija board at home, and it will tell me answers to questions. Like I could ask it a question, it will tell me the answer. So I said, would you do me a favor and ask it if Christy Provost likes me?
Oh, wow.
That's what I did. I said, I got to know, because he made it seem so real.
Yeah.
He never did it, but it was kind of funny, because I kind of at the time thought, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Find out if she likes me. And he's like, yeah, I'll let you know. But anyway, tell me a good Ouija board story.
Well, it was actually with Lee in New York. Before we did our dives, we were doing a documentary with a paranormal investigator. It's called the Wildwood Sanitarium. It was an old house. we went in there to go just take a brief look around. They're like, oh, there's a lot of cool stuff. It's haunted. And it was during the day, so we're like, we're not really there to investigate. We're just walking around. And we're walking up there. There's a doll room full of dolls, which I hate dolls. I'm not a doll person. So we walked in. We saw a Ouija board box, like, right in the doll area, like, just sitting, chilling in the box, right? And I'm like, well, let's get out of here because I don't like dolls because I don't want that thing to attack me like Chucky. Yeah. And then we go around, walk around, and all of a sudden we go back to the same room by myself. I went back. I don't know why I went. I was crazy or something, why I went back there. The freaking Ouija board was out of its box with the planchetta right in the middle of the Ouija board, right near the dolls. And I'm like, nope. I went right outside. I was gone. I was like, I'll be outside late.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
And it was just you and him.
Just me and him, yeah. Nobody was there except for us because the person that takes care of the house is like outside doing yard work and stuff like that. So it was just me and Lee. And Lee was in another room, and I just trolled back to the doll room and saw that. I was like,
I'm out.
Yep. Nope.
Is that the only Ouija board experience you've ever had?
With that, yes. Yeah. I've never had anything happen like that before.
So I've always looked at the way they do these things, right, with the hands. And you always kind of wonder, because if you get a couple people and if I really want to spell something, I could probably do it. I could make you do it by doing that whole thing.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. The Ouija boards are supposed to, like, talk to the other spirit world and stuff like that. That's the theory of it. It's a ghost, a paranormal tool, but it's like it was created for kids as a toy, and then people took it further than that to contact your loved ones. Or some people say it's demonic, like, oh, it's not your really loved one, it's a devil. It's like it's a demon controlling it. It's not really that.
Sure.
There's so many theories about Ouija boards. It's but who knows? But things happen though. Weird things do happen with them.
I've always thought if you're going to do one the right way, here's what I would say. If I was a skeptic and I was seeing it all go down, I would say, all right, do me a favor. We're going to blindfold you guys. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to blindfold you, put your hands, and let's see where this thing really goes to see if it could spell something. Because you know, at that point, you're not trying to spell something, right? So I could probably be a good fact checker on that, maybe.
Yeah.
There's a great movie, by the way, called Witchboard. Have you seen it? It's about the Ouija board.
No, I haven't seen it.
And again, being Halloween time, scary movies in this family are big. We always watch scary movies. Typically, I'll watch maybe a scary movie every day or night for the month of Halloween. Me and my friend John, my best friend, and my brother, we always pick them. But this movie, they bring a box. It's a Ouija board. This guy brings it to a party. It pops up in the air. Everybody gets scared. The guy's tire gets slashed. He freaks out. He leaves his Ouija board there. And the girl there starts using it alone. So he left her a message and said, hey, by the way, I left my Ouija board there. Don't use it alone. A demon will possess you. It'll attach itself to you. And all of a sudden, she gets hooked on this thing, and she starts using it. And this demon called Malfador attaches itself to her now.
Oh, man.
And it's doing all kinds of crazy stuff's going on. So if you haven't seen that, you should definitely check it out. It's definitely a scary one for sure.
I'll have to check that out.
How about any good medium stories? Or seances or that type of situation?
I had a situation where there was a good medium situation afterwards. We did an investigation out in Kentucky, which is very haunted, by the way. The whole place is. We went out in the woods right where there's a cemetery, and we saw this lady just sitting there by a tree, hunched over, and she had like white long hair, purple dress. I still remember to this day, and I had a camera on my chest, one of those body cameras, and I knew it was working because I tested it out, make sure everything's working, and replayed it. And this whole time, my chest camera is filming this. So the closer we get, literally your hair would stand up on your arms, and which was like a sign of don't come any closer.
Sure.
And the lady next to me is like, I don't think we should go any closer because that's not a good sign. I'm like, I'm agree. I don't want to mess whatever this thing is. If it's an actual woman out there or a crazy person, a homeless person, or somebody doing something that's wrong, shouldn't be doing, let's not mess with it. But it was something like out of the 1800s kind of like person, like a witch, an actual witch that you see in movies. So we go back, and there's a lady who's a psychic medium, and I was like, oh, you wouldn't believe what we saw. And she's like, don't tell me. It's like, is it a woman with white long hair in a purple dress? My mouth dropped.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to check my body camera. Took the SD card out into my computer. Thing was dead. Would not play at all. Like, literally. It was... And I checked another computer. Wouldn't play. So I put it back in my camera to see if I could record. Would not record. Wouldn't let me. So I still have that SD card till today. It still have it there. It won't even play anything. It was gone.
I remember Lee telling me some stories about recordings. And you hear something, but there's no recording, or delayed recordings, time slots, and things like that. We're always a little bit off with that, right?
There were some times where we took a picture of an entity. We saw it. Me and him would see it. And then we check it again, and it disappeared out of the picture. Like, just like the spirit was in that picture and just like said, nope, we're not going to show.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and we've had some weird stuff happen like that. Voice recordings that we caught and heard it, like literally ear to ear, heard it. And then all of a sudden, it's gone.
Odd, man.
It's
Scary.
weird stuff.
Was there any movies that were able to get it right?
Not really, because if you think about Hollywood, they always dramatize it. Yeah. You know, the paranormal, like you watch these paranormal shows and you hear people screaming and stuff and running, and like sometimes you go to these places and you won't get nothing. Like nothing will happen. It'll be dry. We call that the calmness before the storm. And there's times that we'll go to investigations. There's things like doors opening, things flying. We'll see shadows get touched. We've actually had people get scratched. Literally scratch, like claws down your back. People get pushed down the stairs. Women hair getting tugged.
Yeah.
Just a whole bunch of different things.
Do you believe any house could be haunted?
I mean,
new or old?
We've actually, like, my house is not that old and it's haunted. We don't know if it's because of the area. You gotta remember, like, where I live in Cape Coral, there's a lot of Indian burials there, a lot of history with Spanish War. That's why they call it Burnt Store because it caught on fire, because there was a big Spanish War that was happening between these two groups of people that were just fighting. That's why there's a lot of paranormal stuff. When me and Lee go into these woods, we'll experience, like we said, apparitions of soldiers. Or just weird stuff that happens.
Yeah.
Balls of light that will come out of trees. We literally got chased by a ball of light out of the woods one time. The intelligent ball of light.
Man, that's crazy. Either that was an alien trying to get a hold of you, or an orb or something.
There's sometimes I wish it.
Man. So if I was a non-believer, okay, and I wanted you to make me a believer, where would you take me?
I'd take it into the woods, because that's because every time we bring somebody there, even people that wasn't a believer, they became a believer. Especially the ball of light that chased us, they weren't really much of a believer. They were a skeptic until they're like, what is this? This should never happen. Yeah. You know, it's the place comes alive, especially when you got all these bugs like cicadas that you can hear that are very loud, and all of a sudden the cicadas stop. And it just has like cold turkey stop, and you feel like something's gonna happen at that point.
I was talking to Lee last week about a situation. I had this property, somebody I know that owns this property, and he's doing a remodel. And I know them pretty well and everything. And one of the guys that's doing the remodel said, "This house is haunted." He sent me a message. And it was right about the time when I was, doing this whole setup with you and everything. So I said, "Really?" I said, "What makes you think it's haunted?" I said, "Nobody's ever died in the house." He said, "I could just tell." He says, "I was cutting out the tile. Something touched me on the shoulder." So he said, "I turned around, I saw a shadow."
Oh, shoot.
I thought, wow, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Thinking, house is built like 97, one owner. So then he said, we went to eat lunch. We kind of forgot about it a little bit. I still remember the feeling, but he goes, I heard a bang in the master bedroom. And he goes, I went in there and nothing was in there. And he goes, it just really kind of freaked us out. I said, well, what are you guys going to do? He goes, I don't know if we're going to finish this remodel or not, but we're all kind of a little freaked out by it. But it was kind of an interesting story because it wasn't an old house. Could remodels and things like that, could they stir up activity?
Yeah, because they like the same thing that they're used to. Especially, like, we hear a lot of cases where these old Victorian homes start knocking walls down and doors, and that's when the place really comes alive.
Yeah.
So we hear multiple cases like that.
So situations like that, can you go in there and clear it to where there's nothing
You can.
active?
Yeah.
What would you do?
You would just pretty much pray and pretty much... I can't remember those things called. Those incense that you smoke the house with.
The sage?
The sage. You sage the house and clear it out just so all the spirits could just leave and and be in peace.
Wow. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
What was the first time where you went in there and you saw something and you said, I want to make this a career?
Well, I've been experiencing it since I was a little kid.
Okay.
Ever since then, I've been wanting to help people. Just, what is it? What are we experiencing? What are we looking at? Could it be ghosts? Could it be something that's not of this world? Could there be a veil that's torn, and something's going in and out of that veil? It could be anything. But what we're experiencing of what we see are spirits. But are they actually spirits? Will we ever know? We might not. We might. Who knows?
You think it's a dimensional thing?
It could be. There's a lot of theories about dimensional beings that are visiting our Earth, and we could be the same to them. Like, it could be like a mirror that we're looking into, pretty much.
We'll talk about alien abductions a little bit. I mean, do you believe? I mean, obviously we're a small little speck, right?
Yeah.
On a beach, we're just one piece of sand in the world, right?
Yep.
In the universe. Do you believe in that, or have you ever heard of anybody that's been abducted, or much about that?
I've actually had a guest on my show who's been abducted supposedly 13 times, multiple times, and especially when he had they found something in his shoulder by accident when he had to get surgery, and the doctor, when they pulled it out, they said, "Well, this ain't Earth-like. This doesn't come from here. We've never seen this before." And he still keeps it till this day. So whatever it is, it's probably alien technology or whatever it is. Which is funny because I hear a lot about that all the time, where there's something in their ear, something in their arm, their foot, where it doesn't belong here.
Is he able to recall any information from that?
He says a little bit. He says, like, sometimes it's like he remember, like, being on a table and being, like, just poked and talked to and couldn't remember stuff. Like, he would be in and out and stuff like that.
See, most of the time they can't recall information. That's the biggest thing. This guy passed away, but prayers to the family, but Jim Sparks was a huge name. And I met Jim, I was about 20 years old. And I worked at Bird Eyes at the mall clothing store. I was too young. You weren't here then. It closed down before you moved here. But I was selling him a suit, socks, belt. He wanted 2 of them. So I said, great. So I said, what's this for? He says, well, do you believe in aliens? I said, well, I've seen fire in the sky. Yeah. And it's pretty cool to me. I said, I don't know if I believe in it or not. He says, well, I've been abducted my whole life. And he says, I've been abducted since I was a kid. He says, I'm an author of a book. And he goes, I'm going to drop this book off to you. And I'm thinking, whatever, I'm not going to get it. But he brought me a book printed like a generic version, sort of the first launch of his book. And I read the book. And it's a crazy story. And I mean, obviously, it could just be a great author, but apparently this guy became the #1 fact checker and became like a pretty big deal. Wow. He was able to recall everything that happened to him. He wrote a book on his experiences at the alphabet and everything. Yeah. But he would have been a great guest to get on the show for me, but he passed away. Oh, man. But it's too bad because I was like, man, that would have been a really good, and I think he would have remembered me because we hit it off very well. I think if I would have said, remember the guy you brought a book back to? And I called you, and after I read the book, and this is when you first launched it, I'm sure he would have remembered, hopefully. But good guy, man. Yeah. And I would have loved to have him on here to hear, awesome. Kind of hear the story. And I'm not going to say I believe or don't believe in that whole thing, or even the paranormal, but it's all pretty intriguing to me, and there's enough signs out there that make you want to at least, hear those stories. After talking to him, did you believe the 13, abductions and all that?
It's kind of hard to believe it in a way because, but the only thing that kind of stuck with me is what was in his arm.
Yeah.
That's not of this world, and you kind of go back and forth. Is it real? Is it not real? And you kind of have that little fight. It's kind of like going through a political kind of thing. You're like going back and forth,
Sure.
back and forth. What is real and what's not real?
Yeah. One of the crazy stories in his book was he said he felt that he got up in the middle of the night and he walked through his wall, out through his master bedroom wall, and out to a spaceship or a craft of some sort. And then the next morning he forgot what happened. It was just a normal night because he would see signs and it was a normal thing for him. So he was cleaning up the house the next day and he saw leaves on the carpet and a couple footprints.
Oh, wow.
Near the wall, like a half a footprint towards the wall or something weird.
Yeah.
To where he goes, man, this did happen to me.
Yeah.
It makes your hair in your arm stand up. Which
Yeah.
I thought, man, that's kind of a crazy story, right? A crazy dream that became real,
Jeez.
So what would you say would be the most haunted spot in the U.S., a place that you'd love to go but haven't been to yet?
I would say there's a place in Kentucky. It's one of the biggest caves. It's like 500 miles long. It's called Mammoth Cave. And there's so much stuff of Mothman, Bigfoot, UFOs that people have supposedly seen there. I've been there once, took a little tour and stuff. It's 60 degrees year round, so it's always cold in the cave. But it's a beautiful cave. But there's some areas that haven't even been explored yet. But that's one place I would love to spend the night and just check it out, see what comes out.
No fear.
No fear, no.
Man, that's crazy.
I love the dark.
Yeah.
I love the dark.
Hey, Sam, that'd be a good thing for you to do. Go in the cave.
Let's do it. I'd be down for that.
Check it out, man. Video it.
Make a little episode, Cave Explorers.
Heck yeah.
Let me know how that is. All right? Just give me some feedback on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll chill here. I'll chill in the studio while you guys are in the cave. It's crazy. All right, so let's get on to the Bigfoot, the Yetis, cryptids, Mothman, things like that. And when I see Mothman, I think of a great movie.
Yeah.
Mothman Prophecy.
Oh, that I haven't seen.
Great. You got to watch that, man.
Yeah.
You got to step up your movie game.
I'm always out.
Man.
That's a problem.
You got to step up the movie. Well, I guess
Yeah.
every day is like a movie, too, with the stuff
Pretty
that you
much,
see.
yeah.
But great movie, by the way.
Yeah.
So what was the first time that you kind of got intrigued with the whole cryptid thing?
I've always been a fan of Bigfoot. I just love the lore of it, the Yeti, especially the history of the Yeti, what happened. Supposedly it was the Yeti, but or it was government that happened. But it's just really cool to me because it's a figure that is been around since the beginning of time, and that's why the pretty much biblical days, which they think is the Nephilim. That's why it's just so intriguing and seeing cool, and you get to go around and see so many things around of the Bigfoot stores, Bigfoot restaurants, Bigfoot pizza. The Bigfoot's a big name and has its own store. That people is it a real creature or is it not? And it has its own thing, which is really cool.
Yeah. What areas are the most Bigfoot driven towns?
I would say, in my experience, here in Florida.
Okay.
Locally.
Okay.
There's so many encounters in Florida. If you look at a map of all the Bigfoot locations and stuff, which is funny because they have little Bigfoots of it's kind of like putting a needle on a wall and stuff, but it's all Bigfoots. Florida, all those Bigfoots take over Florida. More than anywhere else in the state. I mean, there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings all over the United States. But Florida's been the most sightings.
Okay. Now, I mean a town that has everything's kind of Bigfoot, like Area 51, everything's alien, around those areas, right? It's all aliens. Yeah. Every place you go to, every store has stuff, right?
I would say Tennessee.
Okay. Because I was saying, I feel like it's kind of up there because when we travel, those little towns and
Yeah.
stuff, sometimes you see Bigfoot stuff
Yeah.
everywhere, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they got Bigfoot stores up there and stuff like crazy.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
Now, Bigfoot and like Sasquatch, are they considered?
Pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's an old movie called Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah,
I love
great
that movie. Yeah.
Would that be would be a Bigfoot, right?
Yeah.
Or a Sasquatch, or
Yeah.
whatever. It's a great.
I wish I could see something like that. That would be cool. And
Yeah.
just be able to keep it around.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
See, that's good, man. You're able to dive into some old school flicks. You know,
Yeah.
that was definitely a good one.
Yeah.
What was the moment that this made you a believer in Bigfoot?
Just the experiences I've had out there. I mean, rocks thrown at you, trees moving and breaking, tree structures that, that nothing else could actually build out there in the middle of the woods where no man really goes to. And just the footprints that we see that shouldn't be there. Some people like say it's bear. It's not bear. This is not a bear claw. Bear foots are like literally like wider. Bigfoots are like more narrow and longer.
Okay.
And
So you've seen Bigfoot prints.
yeah, oh yeah.
Like how big would a Bigfoot print be?
It all depends. If it's a juvenile, it's probably about, I would say 7 to 8 inches. But if it's like an adult, I would say, gosh, if you have like a size 15 shoe or bigger, then it's a big.
Okay.
Yeah, with the outlines of the toes and the heels, and you can see the imprint of it's just really cool.
So you have you had mentioned you have some good pictures of some.
Yeah,
Okay.
at my parents' property actually.
We got to see that.
Yeah.
It's amazing, man. Bigfoot, cryptids, paranormal. When you tell people what you do,
Yeah.
they're probably like, man, that's this. I don't know anybody that does this but you.
Yeah, we're out there. It's funny because when I mention people that hunt ghosts, they're like, "What? That's cool."
Yeah.
Like I've done Comic-Cons and stuff like that, and I'll be the only ghost guy. They'll call me the ghost guy. They're like, "Oh, I got a ghost story for you." Like, let me tell you about my haunted story. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Like, I get it all the time. We're doing Comic-Cons and stuff like
Nice.
that. So it's really cool to be able to hear people's stories.
Well, if you're open to it, you definitely hear,
Yeah.
a lot of stories. I think if you're probably closed to it, you're not going to hear a story out of people. So explain to me what a Nephilim is.
Pretty much what a Nephilim is, it's just a big creature that could be spiritual, going through realms. Just a big giant that's supposed to look human. Some people call it David versus Goliath. Some people call it spiritual. It all depends. There's so many theories about what the Nephilim is. And that's what started the lore for Bigfoot, pretty much in the biblical days. And now, like, if you go on through history, like through the Indians, they've seen this creature that appeared and disappeared during their chants, their war chants, or through their prayers that would just pop out of nowhere. This creature that would talk to them, literally. There's some times where people said they've heard these weird voices that came from Bigfoot. So it just goes down a lineage, like over time, of each person that experienced Bigfoot in a different way. And till this day, like, Bigfoot would show up to people and disappear. Like, how does that happen? How does a creature that big supposedly, like, appear, then disappear in an instance? Which what we call it we think it cloaks. Some Bigfooters out there call it that it cloaks, like kind of like a chameleon, or that it jumps through realms, or it's an actual ghost that just pops in and out of places.
Wow.
And just makes its print, literally footprint.
Insane.
Yeah. So there's so many theories.
Have you ever seen one?
I've kind of saw a shadow of one. We were in Indiana doing like a Bigfoot hunt. We saw this big, tall, kind of ape figure that's like broad shoulder.
How tall?
I would say about 8 to 9 feet tall. It's way taller than us. And we turned around literally because we didn't want to mess whatever it was, and just turned around and like left.
Make you a believer for sure.
Oh yeah, they're out there. It's whatever it is, spirit or not, or an actual beast or animal that could do those things. It's pretty intriguing.
So what's it like when you're out there? Right, you're out there in a remote area. I'm sure it's not in an HOA community.
No, it's not. It's way in the wilderness.
So when you're out there, I mean, do you ever like fear for your life at that point to be so vulnerable to anything happening to you?
Well, you got to remember there's bears out there, and you're in the darkness. You're in the middle of like the wilderness of where you're in nature.
Sure.
That could be like, well, if it's Florida, it's gators, snakes, and stuff like that. Bears. If you're like out of Florida somewhere, there's you have to deal with panthers and all kind of different things. So you never know what you're gonna come across.
Sure.
Especially poisonous spiders and snakes and all kind of wilderness.
Yeah. And I'm sure that you go out there, with a shotgun or a rifle of some sort.
We have protection.
You'd have to.
And you got to wear snake boots because you never know. You don't want to get attacked because those things are hiding.
Oh, for sure.
So you don't want one of those wrapped around
you
your
ever
leg.
been bit by a snake?
No.
No.
Thank God. Not yet.
Me neither. But the python hunting around here is becoming a thing.
It is.
Like out in the Everglades and all that.
Yeah.
I don't even like the black snakes, let alone the big boys.
Yeah. People are thriving with those things too. You actually get a lot of money for each one you get.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah.
I'll bet. A couple of kids I went to high school with now do that.
Yep.
It's bizarre. So let's talk about some horror movies.
Yeah.
Right? The 80s and 90s. Because, now horror movies are not like they used to be.
No.
You could film a movie now with a normal camera, and it's actually scarier.
Yeah.
Versus all the, the cinematography or whatever they use to make things look crazy, right? But some of the greatest movies, I would say, for me, was Witchboard was a scary one.
Yep.
Number 2, some of these Hell House movies. Have you seen some of them?
Yeah.
Really scary. It's kind of done on a VHS recorder. One of the ones recently was called the Carmichael Manor. If you haven't seen it, you should.
No.
It's a house that 3 people go to check out, and there was a death in the house, and they go there with cameras. And everything's kind of normal, but they meet someone to take them through the house, and they say, don't go in this room. We haven't had a key for 20 years.
Yeah.
No idea what's in there, just whatever. So as they're walking through the house the first day, they realize the door is open. There's a couple clowns in there, look like mannequins. And all of a sudden, things start to happen. Knocking on doors, all the things you could imagine, right? The clowns start to move around in the house as mannequins. And it's creepy, man. It's a good one. So if you haven't seen it, you should.
Yeah, I have to check it out.
Another one is Hell Night. That's an old 80s flick. Sam, if you haven't seen Hell Night, you got to see that. Hell Night is a fraternity, and they go to this place called Garth Manor. And it's got the big steel with the spikes, the gate when you come in. It's always locked, of course. One guy's got the key. The key ring is this big. They let him in. They do their thing, and they let him stay there for the night. That's part of the hazing. And all of a sudden, things start to happen. But the fraternity members go in and try to mess with them.
Yeah.
And then people start dying. The fraternity members trying to haze them. It's a great, great old flick.
Wow.
But how about what's some of your favorite flicks?
Paranormal Activity.
Great.
That was seeing that for the first time as a teenager with my friends.
Yeah.
It literally made you jump out of your seat.
For sure. Part 1 was the scariest, for sure.
The more they did, it was less. But the first one was, I think, top of the line, especially like Blair Witch Project. I think
Great
those
one.
2 movies like literally shattered people. Like, you don't see things like that anymore in the movies, which is really sad because I really miss that kind of scare factor. Today it's just like, oh wow, someone's getting chased, that's it, and it's not really scary like it used to be. And that's why I miss the 80s and 90s horror flicks, because I felt like it was more natural.
Yeah. So Sam does all my videos, and Sam, he's a videographer, man. The best, actually. I know we can do a movie like that, Sam.
Absolutely.
Blair Witch might be a little difficult,
Let's do it.
But Paranormal Activity wouldn't be hard.
We could do it for sure. We could even do it with phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My friend John Alois would come down here as well, my best friend from Chicago. He does that too. And we'll get you need a couple cameras, right?
That'd be great.
But man, that'd be fun. It wouldn't be hard to make that though.
No, like,
Paranormal Activity,
you could make that happen very easy.
yeah.
Yeah.
The footprints when they wake up, there's the footprints and the baking
Have someone
soda
in a
on the
green
floor.
suit walking with and you could just take them out of the picture.
No
Is
problem.
it really cool?
No, I'll even play Michael Myers if you want to.
There you go. Yeah.
By the way, did you see I had Michael Myers on the show?
Yeah, that was funny. That was really cool.
It was tough to get him on here. You know, he was hard to get a hold of,
Yeah.
but I did, and he was cool. I didn't
Yeah.
feel endangered at all or nothing like that.
He seemed like a funny dude. He kept
was
laughing.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kept laughing a little bit. Communication was a little tough, a lot of loss of words, but a fun guy for sure.
That's awesome.
Blair Witch Project, I saw that in a movie theater.
Yeah, I did too.
And at that time, you didn't know that it was fake. It was
Well-
the first real VHS filmed movie like that, right?
They made it think that it was real.
Yeah.
Like it actually happened. And then like years later, they're like, oh no, this was just an actual low budget film.
Yeah. When I left that movie, man, I wasn't right for a little bit. I thought, man,
Yeah, it messed
that
me
was
up.
so real.
And then I always thought, like, when I go in the woods, I still think it to this day, like, I'm going to see, like, one of those witch things
Oh,
that,
yeah.
like, pentagons or pentagrams hanging from a tree. I'm like, oh, I'm going.
That could be a good topic right there, Sam. Paranormal investigators getting scared.
That would be good.
Even the ones that live and die by this. They love to see people get thrown around,
Yeah.
and they even get scared.
Yes. Yeah. Or we just take a film crew out to the woods and just watch them.
Yeah.
See what happens.
See if we can find Bigfoot or whatever out
That'd be
there.
good.
Paranormal, yeah.
But the other stuff scares me more, though. Bigfoot, you know.
Yeah.
Scares me a little bit, but not that much. Alien abductions,
Yeah.
ghostly encounters.
Mm-hmm.
The ghosts will follow you home.
Yeah.
Who's one of your favorite Hollywood actors in the horror, realm?
I would say Freddy Krueger.
Okay.
The guy who plays Freddy Krueger. He's really cool.
Yeah.
Met him at a Comic-Con. I can't remember his name. On the
Robert
top.
England.
Yeah, Robert England. Really cool guy.
Nice. Yeah.
Funny as hell because he'll like do his voice and all that stuff right in front of you.
Yeah. He's got to be pushing 80 now, 75,
Gosh,
80.
yeah, he's in his.
He almost looks like Freddy, I think.
He
now.
does.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
face started to wriggle
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger is good. I would say Jason, Michael, Freddy's cool. I might
Yeah.
get Freddy on here for next year. I'm working on that. Getting Freddy or Jason Voorhees on
That'd
the show.
be cool.
We'll see how that goes.
I'd see that.
Maybe Robert England.
Yeah.
That'd be
Never
pretty
know.
cool. But Vincent Price, one of my favorites. The voice of Thriller. He was in, a lot of the old flicks, The Pit and the Pendulum, and all those. I love that because his voice was like the horror voice of the 80s.
Yeah.
Remember him, Vincent Price?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was the voice for sure.
Wow.
And then Elvira, remember
Oh
Elvira?
my gosh, she was one of my favorites. Yeah.
She was awesome.
Yeah.
Or Son of Svengoolie was another one that was like when we were kids, we watched this sort of thing. But anyway, I look
Blob.
at what you've done, man. It's really intriguing to me. And I always think back of like when you're in high school and you go around the classroom and they ask everybody what they want to be when they grow up.
Yeah.
Right? I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a heart surgeon.
Yeah.
I want to be a ghost hunter.
Yeah.
And into cryptids. I want to chase cryptids, which,
Yeah.
that's kind of a cool thing, That's
Which is really cool because it feels like, this is spooky season right now, but spooky season for us is 24/7 all year, like 365 days a year.
Yeah.
So we're always out there doing something
Yeah.
paranormal, cryptid, whatever it is to find the truth.
Yeah. When you what is your array of technology and stuff that you have to go in somewhere? Like, do you when you get a call, right?
Yeah.
We got like the Ghostbusters, right? You get a call,
Yeah.
and then you got to go in, right?
Yeah.
Do you listen to what the problem is first, and then go in with certain types of equipment, or how do you figure that whole thing out?
Usually we kind of do a talk through first. We'll sit on the couch, at that person's house.
Before you come in with all your
Yeah,
equipment.
before we bring anything,
Yeah.
because we want to get the feel of the house and get the feel of what they're saying. Because sometimes they're gonna okay, this house couldn't be haunted, or they'll be really serious, like their kids are getting touched or scratched or something like that. It's like a serious case, so we like to talk to them and then feel it out, and then after that we'll do a walkthrough, just see if we feel anything that's something heavy in the room. Like if there's something say we walk into this studio and if I'm like, wow, this room feels heavy, I feel like I can't breathe barely, or something's pushing on my chest, that means it's we call that a hot room. That's something there, we don't know what it is, and then we'll take our voice recorders out next and do an EVP session, see if we get any voice phenomena. And after that, we start taking like the cameras, and then after we do we call it a prelim investigation. Then after we do all that, we'll take out the cameras, the more voice recorders, EMF detectors. And we'll bring the whole stuff out, the whole shebang, and do a night investigation to see what's actually going on.
Do you think that could be taught to someone to walk into a home and feel that?
It all depends. Like, everybody's different. Can't really teach it. You gotta experience it to be able to do what we do.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then also, too, I didn't ask Lee this, but I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lee. What would the cost be to go into a case like that?
We do it for free.
Okay.
We do it because we love doing this.
Okay.
It's our passion, and that's what we do. We help people, to be able to solve these issues of what's going on.
Yeah.
Plus, we just don't do these cases. We go out to go to the woods, like investigate on our own without people calling us and stuff like that, and do other many things and stuff, and just check it out and see what's happening.
Have you taken all the pictures and stuff you have and put them in like on your website or something? Would be kind of cool. You probably have some good stuff in that phone.
Yeah, we got some. I got on my phone exactly. I got some stuff, especially what just happened at the Everglades. We just did a Bigfoot investigation. There's a guy out in literally the swamp looking with his flashlight in the middle of like where there's gators and snakes just crawling around, and I took a picture. While he had his flashlight, and there was you could see in the picture a picture of a face. Like, I don't know if it was a creature. You could see the eyes, the forehead, the hair. It was very creepy. It was like kind of Bigfoot-ish.
You got to send that to me.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to get into this career, Josh, what would you tell the viewers they would have to do?
Pretty much be patient with it, because you could go into your first investigation, be so excited, I'm going to see a ghost, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
We go into cases like that, and it happens all the time, where nothing happens, and you're like, oh, man, nothing happened. That's how ghosts and spirits are, Sometimes they'll want to come out and play. Sometimes they don't want nothing to do with you. It all depends on the place, too. Is it really haunted, or is it not? Mm-hmm. I just tell people to be patient with it. Like, you might have a couple of dry spouts, or you might have a couple of good ones and no good ones. It just happens in this field.
Because around here, it seems like you guys are the only ones that do this around town, which is good. I think other areas where there might be more activity, there's probably more ghost hunters, I would think. Yeah,
there's some out here. They're spread across in Florida, but there's definitely some paranormal hunters out there.
Sure. Well, real pleasure today, man.
Definitely, man.
So the message for today for me, Josh, was just, getting you here to talk about these things that are, could be a little bit uncomfortable, could be skeptical to some. And you have your open-minded people that like to talk about this, closed-minded that may not want to talk about this that much. But for me, I thought it was a good topic, certainly now.
Yeah.
Seeing what you do and everything, and sort of the different types of different career that you're in, paranormal, cryptids, and all that stuff is certainly some things there that are pretty awesome. Like to hear about the stories and some of the fears, and I think sometimes facing your fears. I would imagine that facing your fears and doing all these things probably help you to be a better person, because you're conquering fears, right? And I've always been a big fan of that. It's like if I'm scared of doing something, I just do it because it might make me better.
Yeah.
For example, 20 years ago, I thought podcasts were intimidating to me. Mm-hmm. You learn it, you do it. If you're afraid of flying, get on a flight, fly. If you're afraid of heights, maybe you go skydiving. I don't know what that is. But for me, it's always been kind of conquering my fears. Getting up on stage, too. Stage fright is a big thing.
Yeah.
I remember in college, my first speech I had to give was terrible. Most of the students wouldn't even get up to talk because they were so scared of it. But I think if you can find the things you like to do, conquer them, and conquer that fear, make you a better person for sure.
Yeah. 100%.
Josh, tell the audience where they can find you at.
You can find me at animalexpeditionfiles.com on my website, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Just type in Animal Expedition Files and check me out.
The animal. So, great time today, man. I appreciate you. And I hope you guys enjoyed the episode today of the Joe Pavich Podcast. Go to the joepavichpodcast.com. In there, all the links are in there. YouTube, Spotify, Apple. It's all in there. iHeart. But again, thank you again. And thank you for my sponsors, Above and Beyond Painting, Edwards Contracting Group, and
I'm unfolding
that's it.
Rise up, king. I'd rather build or destroy.